529-463.
Hello.
Hey, Sonia.
Yes,
Hey, Jonathan here with CashlandBuyerUSA.com. How are you today, dear?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Appreciate that. My associate Brenda's on the other line. Can I merge her in real quick? The one you spoke with before?
Yes.
Stand by 1 second. All righty, Brenda, you there, dear?
I am.
Okay, Miss Sonia, you there?
I am.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're all here. What a blessing. Fantastic. So, Miss Sonia, thank you for hopping on with us. I appreciate you. Again, my name is Jonathan Kirk. I'm with Cash Land Buyer USA. I'm with Brenda as well. She's one of my partners, and she spoke very highly of you and about your parcels that you have here.
Okay.
You got the 80 and you got the 130. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So my goal,
One of them is it's 211. I can't remember if
Hmm.
it's 81 or 131. I think one of them has one extra acre,
okay, gotcha. So
if
like,
I'm not mistaken.
okay, cool. So it's like 131.
It's either 131 or it's 81. I
Okay.
can't remember which one has the extra
Okay.
acre on it.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Thank you for that. And these are located, these are in the Birmingham area, right? Birmingham, Alabama, right?
Um, yeah, suburbs of
Suburbs.
Birmingham. It's
Yeah.
really like Vincent. I think one is in Vincent, Alabama, and not sure. I know the counties. The counties are actually Shelby County
Mm-hmm.
and St. Clair County.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And fantastic. Okay, cool. So the point of this call today, Miss Sonia, is just to see if these parcels qualify for just to get an offer as is. Obviously, I'm not going to have you do nothing to the land. We're looking for land to put into our portfolio. For really one reason for the holding aspect. So by the end of this call, I'm going to try to get you an approval with an offer, or sometimes the main underwriter will issue a denial and a reason why. Some of the benefits with working with Cash Land Buyer USA is that, we buy the properties, the land as is. We cover all closing costs and there's no commissions. Miss Sonia, do you mind grabbing a pen and paper? I'm going to have you jot down my contact information. There'll also be some information I'm confident that you're going to want to write down if we can get these parcels approved today.
Okay. What is it's Jonathan? Is that
Yes,
correct?
Jonathan Kirk, Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you my direct cell phone and our business line. The business line is 302
Mm-hmm.
297
Uh-huh.
7555.
Okay.
My number is 443 928 4550.
Okay.
Name of the company is Cash Land Buyer USA. And I'm pretty sure you came in through our website, which is the cashlandbuyerusa.com. Okay. 5 stars all across the board. So what we would ask you, Miss Sonia, is if we get fortunate and blessed enough to do business with you and we do justice by you and we make you happy, like I know we will, we would also be looking for a 5-star testimonial on our profile. Would you be okay with that? Should we do business close as we promise you, leaving us a testimonial? Would that be okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So catch me up to speed, Miss Sonia. Why are you consider selling, maybe not, milking the land and building upon it and just kind of leasing it?
Um, so it's been leased to hunters over the years, but the land was actually purchased probably 30 years ago
Okay.
or more by my aunt.
Okay.
originally.
Hmm.
And originally there were some plans of developing it as a family homestead.
Nice.
That just never happened.
Sure.
And she passed 2 years ago, and I've I've held it, you know, 2 years. But I've visited the land. Um, I just have no interest in developing it as a homestead.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And so I'm exploring um, all options. Um, and selling is just one of those options.
Yes, ma'am. Clear as water down in Florida. I totally understand that. It makes, which is not the way the water is up here in Baltimore City, in Baltimore, Maryland. I'll tell you that much. All right, good stuff. So, yeah, it's funny, a lot of folks that we buy land from, it's passed down through generations a lot of times, and they're able to utilize the money in other investment opportunities, like maybe even single family residential
Right.
is easier to deal with than land if you're not specializing in the land. So I totally get it, Miss Sonia. Thank you for breaking that down for me. It's just you that owns the land, is that correct?
It's actually deeded to trust that my aunt developed. We've gone through probate, and it has been transferred from her to the trust. And
Okay.
I am the trustee. The other person that was named as a beneficiary of the trust was my brother, who is also deceased.
Roger that. Yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry for your loss.
So, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So you're the sole one. Okay, understood. In a perfect world, Miss Sonia, what were you hoping to walk away with? Ballpark.
Um, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, I'm the
I
messenger.
did
So
not
yeah.
have, did not and do not have uh, a value. Now, there's multiple things that play a factor, and so I'm a realist, and so I'm just open to offers. I have received a couple of offers. I'll tell you that I have not entered into any agreement with anyone. Um, I had appraisals done and got one value. I also had some knowledge of what other parcels in the area were selling for.
Mhm.
But I also am aware of some um, differences in the parcels I have versus some of the others that have sold in the area. So I'm aware and I'm a realist. So I'm just listening to the offers and we'll make a decision from there.
Gotcha.
And probably at this point, it's the highest offer.
Sure. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
And so I got some idea. There was a little bit of variance in the two that I have received so far.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but those give me, and it wasn't a big variance, but there was some variance. So I have some idea. Um, and those offers were lower than the appraisals. So I'm aware that I very well may not get what the appraisal said it was worth. So I'm aware of all of it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Um, what was the differences that you saw between the other comparables in your parcels that you were aware of?
Well, actually, there's three potential offers. Two taking both parcels together, and then one was from two different people, each buying a parcel.
Okay.
So there's three offers, two people for the whole, for both, and one offer, realizing the last two were for two different individuals, one buying one parcel and one buying another parcel. But the greatest variance is about $100,000. But again, that's what we're talking about. To me, that's not a great variance, but there is some variance there.
Yes, ma'am. Understood. Okay. I appreciate that. Is there anything else that you know of, with the parcels or anything that we should be made aware of or anything that I haven't asked you that if you were in my shoes, Miss Sonia, you would definitely want to know?
Um, well, one of the things is the amount of frontage on the
Mm-hmm.
property.
Yep.
So that's like the biggest factor that's affecting the variance in what other parcels are selling for in that area versus what mine,
Right.
the offers that I have received on mine. And I've heard it from, more than one person, and I've visited it. And so I'm aware that that is a true concern
Sure. Sure.
and not just something somebody is saying. So I'm
Gotcha.
aware of that. But that's the factor that's kind of playing a factor in the offers.
Okay. Brenda, did you have any questions about the parcels at all while we're on that subject?
Yes, Sonia, I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said. What else we should be aware of? It is the amount of what on the land?
The frontage.
Frontage. Okay, and what does that mean to you, Miss Sonia?
So it's like the entrance, basically.
Okay, so does that mean road access?
Right, road access.
Okay, got it.
Direct road access.
So it's going to be a long road. It's probably going to be a long road, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I had the same thing and go ahead. I'm sorry, Brenda.
That's okay, so that would mean we'd have to get a variance from one of the neighbors to get road access,
Right,
correct?
a potential
Okay.
easement. There is some access, I think it's narrow, is the issue. So there's access available, there's one access available, let me put it like that. And typically
Okay.
for developers, they like to have more than one way in and out.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the issue.
Sure. So, are developers, some of the people making offers?
Yes.
Oh,
I've gotten offers from developers. I've also gotten offers from another landowner that's adjacent. That was an offer where they wanted one of the parcels and somebody else wanted one of the parcels. And then I got and I'm not sure one of the people that made an offer on both is a developer. One of the people, I'm not sure what their plans would be with the land. They didn't specify.
So do you have a preference as to the type of buyer? I mean, does it matter to you whether it's a neighbor or a developer?
It does not.
Okay, all right.
I'm honestly gonna go with the highest offer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just honest with you. I'm gonna go to the highest offer because for me, what's important at this point is being able to invest in something else and then clear some debt that I have. So that's what I'm looking to do.
Sure. I mean, it's nice to have plans for the money, right?
Right.
Yeah, so is there any chance you could give us a range as to what you're looking for in terms of the property? Either
I didn't want to do that because I didn't want it to affect the offer. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to share what I've already got because I didn't want you, if you understand where I'm coming from.
Sure,
I
yeah.
wanted a blanket offer. I'm willing to tell you if you are in the ballpark of the others. I'm willing to even tell you if you are higher, lower, and by what amount. But I didn't want to share that information before receiving an offer.
Well, let me ask you this, Miss Sonia. Just preliminarily, because Brenda, we're always speaking with our underwriters, and you know, they're crunching numbers right now. We don't have a full approval yet, but they're kind of chirping back to us, kind of, you know, evaluating the land, and they know a little bit more about because they're buying parcels. They're the ones that have been approving funds to be released to buy land in this area. We're literally just the sales reps, so you're not negotiating with me. You know what I mean? Like I'm on your side. You could tell me, I'll try and get you a million. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter to us because we have underwriters that are in place to prevent Brenda and I from overpaying. So a lot of times when folks are able to tell us what they want, a lot of the times we can just go and get it. And if not, if it comes in a little too low, you know, we're also able to possibly massage that price into place because what a lot of people realize is sellers like to work with us. And if you don't sell a lot of property or land, you know, you can sometimes go down the route of, you know, accepting a contract from another company that might promise you more. But yet on settlement day, a lot of them will leave you high and dry, and then they end up calling us back to see if our offer is still available. So please just do your due diligence on the reviews, the client testimonials, and the credibility of whatever company you deal with. Brenda and I have no attachment to the outcome, Miss Sonia. As long as you sound like a very sweetheart of a lady, and that's what Miss Brenda told me about you. So whether you and I do business is truly of no importance as long as you get taken care of. You know what I mean? And I sincerely mean that. So we're doing so much volume that it doesn't matter whether or not we actually get to do this deal. We're going to be okay. The universe takes very good care of us because we're able to really come from contribution. So that's why Brenda was asking you, because a lot of the times when folks will level with us, they'll be like, listen, if y'all can get me this, we will go and submit for that. And a lot of the times we can make it happen. So instead of us coming in, getting an approval from our underwriter and then having to try and get them to come up, it's not as easy as just going in for the first shot if we know exactly what it is. So that's the only reason why she asked you that.
Okay, well, what I will share is appraisals came in at a little bit above 700,000. Property in the area, same acreage, has sold as high as $3 million. But again, frontage plays a part in that, and I'm aware of that.
Sure,
So-
sure.
So going in, that's what I was looking at, with no real knowledge. I had appraisals that came in, and they were, I mean, it wasn't a deep dive appraisal. It was a general appraisal. I think one of them came in at 300 and some thousand, the other one 400 and some thousand. So that was 700 and some thousand. And I knew that land in the area had sold as high as at that time, and I think even higher now, but as high as 16,000 an acre, which made it be somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 million. However, the offers are a little bit lower than that. So I'll share that information. They did not come in at the appraisal amount.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
that's where I am. So I'll share that information.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that. And that helps me because then I can save us, you know, a good half hour of going back and forth because the underwriters are, they're definitely way south of that just because of the differences with the comparables that they're looking at. And I'm gonna pull this up just so I can kind of share this with you. They're buying a lot of land in that area, and there was one I think that they purchased or had a funding relationship with that was 54 acres that sold for 215 last April. Checked out this comp and it shows it has similar attributes as the subject property. But there was like other things that the underwriters were saying that there was, not frontage like that. So we're even less than that, like, so I'm just curious like how we would respond and just let me know if you would straight up reject it or if you would counter it, Miss Sonia. Because I can tell them before we go in, but we're like way off. We're closer to like a don't shoot the messenger, but we're closer to like $1,000 an acre. You know what I mean? Doing like roughly around 210 cash, for both parcels due to the nature of what we're gonna have to put into it to get them up to snuff. And our algorithms, they're not wrong. Like the Cash Land Buyer USA, they've been buying land since I don't know, probably since I was 17. I'm 39 years old right now, so the technology that they have is pretty good. And it's not what they say yes to. It's more so the ones they say no to, because I'd rather let you down now, Miss Brenda, than disappoint you later. And then if for some reason, if you're not able to get the number that you want, you can always come back to us. We'll be here. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, how would you respond if we were in that, 210, 225 range cash just to be done with these? What would our response be to our underwriting team?
Well, I do have an offer higher than that, with all of the closing and everything being paid by the buyer.
By the buyer. Okay.
So I could not accept even 225, to be honest with you.
Sure, sure. If we were able to maybe match the other buyers, I know you definitely once doing your due diligence upon our testimonials and credibility, and I know you like us more than the other buyers. So if we could, if we could somehow come up, to where they are, would we have a shot at earning your business?
Definitely.
Okay, okay, cool. So if we were to come up, where would we need to be? You know what I'm saying, Miss Sonia? And I'm gonna just take it back and take my best shot to the underwriter. If we can't do it, at least I know I put my best foot forward for you. But where will we need to be in order to make that happen?
So, the highest offer, I'll just tell you right now, is 300.
Okay.
Um, and that's that's the highest offer.
Yes, ma'am. Understood. Okay, so then Brenda and I, Brenda, we got to get together and talk to the powers that be. And
We do.
and see what we can do. And because this is how we operate, Miss Sonia. I appreciate it. You're a straight shooter, just like we are. And if we can beat it, we'll beat it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see what Brenda's able to work magic. I'm not trying to put you under the gun, but she's pretty special. So if anybody can do it, or come up with something and a justification to substantiate it, I know it's her and our team. So let's do this. Brenda, should we go talk to the bosses and see what we can do, and then we'll come back to Miss Sonia and let her know where we're at?
Absolutely. I think that's a really good idea. And Ms. Sonia, thank you so much for spending the time with us.
Okay, and with your company, do you all cover all closing costs and
Re-
everything
record,
on a buy?
yeah, recordations, transfers, closing costs, everything. So whatever the number is that we offer you, that is going to be the net price that you're going to walk away with when it's all said and done.
Okay, and is that and what's the normal time frame for closing with your company?
Brenda, what are you pacing at right now? What are you seeing in the computer?
Well, the most important thing, Ms. Sonia, that you did is that you've gone through probate, because as you know, that can take some time.
Right.
So we could probably have a close for you. I'm gonna say somewhere in, 4 to 5 weeks.
Okay,
Is that a good time frame for you?
that's about the same that was offered. 30 days is what.
Okay, sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. I mean, sometimes.
And I'm not like in a dire rush either.
Oh,
So it's
yeah,
not like I'm trying to do something right this minute. So I'm not in a rush. I was just asking out of curiosity.
sure. And it's an important factor. And I think once we come to an agreement, everybody wants the deal done. So I think we put the pedal to the metal and try to meet that 4-week time frame if we can.
Love it. Love it. Let's see what we can do, Miss Brenda. I know you're able to work magic. So, Miss Sonia, we'll get back to you, either myself or Brenda. You'll probably hear from Brenda first, but you got our company info, you got my cell phone number, you've got our website. Brenda's email is brenda@cashlandbuyerUSA.com. And she is my direct partner, the yin to my yang, as they say.
Okay, and Brenda, what is your phone number?
It is 302 232 8978.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, so I have all of that information and I'll wait to hear back.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, we'll be back.
When should I expect to hear back?
Good question.
I would say Monday for sure.
Okay.
If we can do it today, I will, and we can even get an offer out to you today, but a couple of people are not in the office. So it'll depend on whether or not we can get a hold of them. But if we can do it today, I'd love to.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you, ladies. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you, well, both of you, Miss Brenda and Miss Sonia. But if I'm sure if we have an approval before that, you'll hear from me before the weekend is out. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Miss Sonia.
Brenda.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss Sonia. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
That went well.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah. And we're not that far off from what we were. I mean, $90,000 is a lot of money, but at the same time, the market value when we did our valuations, we went low with it. So we're saying it's 2,000 an acre. And what we wanted to offer was 1,000, so we're just up from there.
Yep.
But we'll have to see what code has to say. I learned a ton.
Good. Good. Go tell Claude that.
The most important thing I learned is I'm going too fast. I need to slow it right down.
Yes, you do, babe.
And
I'm slow. I'm nice and slow and comfortable. And it's just like we're sitting on a train, having a cup of coffee. I mean, it has to be one of the most pleasant interactions that a seller gets the honor of interacting with, where they're like, ooh, I like Jonathan. I like this. I can go at this pace all
Yeah.
day. And you know what? It's funny. I learned that from my father, God rest his soul. But when the way he communicated, he was just so articulate and so just slow to deliver and enunciate and utilizing his vocal image to really nuance the language and make it more pleasant to interact instead of just a monotone type of exchange. So I've taken his page from his book and it's never let me down. And I started on the script, as you noticed. I started on the script, and then once we got to I didn't even get to the pitch. But before I even got to the pitch on page 2, I could tell when she said the 800,000, I was like, well, we're so far apart. I need to pattern interrupt this real quick and anchor her and just say, listen, let's just cut right to the chase. And because of the rapport that we built up in the beginning of the conversation and the systematic approach that I went from having her grab a pen and a piece of paper and write down my company, I promise you that none of the other individuals that she speaks with took the due diligence time to take that time with her and ease her into who she was speaking with, to the point where,
Mhm.
she likes us more than everybody else. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about, relationships.
all about
And,
relationships. That's it.
And so I knew she was a really nice lady, but she was, with me, especially with the initial phone call, she was a little defensive.
Mhm.
And the difference between you and me is you slowed it right down and built the credibility. So,
Right. People don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care.
yeah, yeah.
So she
Yeah.
could definitely feel
So
my
that was-
sincerity in my care for her. And dude, I felt like I could literally go to church with that lady and,
Mhm.
it chop like she sounded like a really nice lady, God-fearing woman. So yeah, it's good
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, I think that's a good hold on, I'm gonna stop this recording so I can send this recording to you for training. Let me see.